Bessma, thank you for joining us on your Sunday evening. So is this a done deal, a shoo-in for Lagarde?
I don't think so, but if we are going to see some momentum on the other side, some sort of other candidate, we need to have developing countries to put forth a credible candidate and really push their unanimous support behind his or her.
You don't think this is a done deal, even though we have the G8 nations, some are saying unanimously supporting her at this point. So who else do you think could step up to challenge Lagarde for the top post?
Well, I think the reality is we still have the potential for many countries like Mexico. Carstens is still in the running. Trevor Emanuels is also in the running from South Africa. But I do think we need to have some consolidation behind one candidate and be able to convince developing countries that that candidate will do a better job than Lagarde. And I think also the Americans are really a swing voter in this. No matter what, we still have a big chunk of the vote, 16%, almost 17% in the American hands, and it can swing any way. But I also wouldn't take too much to heart to what the French have said about this 42%. I think their math is a bit exaggerated, frankly. They're including the Chinese and others, which have been not so much on either side. They're really on the fence in terms of which candidate they're going to support. So I wouldn't really trust the 42% mark. I think we're really looking about 25 to 30%.
Okay, which is still substantial. So let me ask you, though, about consolidation behind another contender besides Lagarde. We were talking to the Thai finance minister who says it's time for developing nations to try to back one candidate. Singapore's finance minister has been mentioned, maybe Zhu Min, who is a former deputy central bank governor in China. Do you think the developing world can actually come up with a candidate that legitimately can contend?
Absolutely. I mean, this really is the moment for emerging market economies, developing countries to step forward. Not only has, as we all know, the global economy shifted, really the center of gravity has shifted away from Europe and the United States. They really have no legitimacy to claim that they have a right to, lead the IMF. But the reality is, too, that not only does Asian countries and much of the emerging market economies have most of the wealth in terms of capital surplus, they have the excellent, technical background to promote and to nominate a very qualified candidate. But also this is about legitimacy, and this is the time, particularly after the Strauss-Kahn debacle, if you will. There's a lot of appetite for change, and I think and Lagarde is really a great candidate in many respects, but I think she has the wrong passport. I mean, people want someone new, and I think there are many great candidates out there that could be promoted. It just needs some unity of purpose and some coordination on the part of developing countries.
Okay, so do you think this is the year that we'll see that old age tradition being broken, that is a European heads up the IMF while an American heads up the World Bank?
Well, and I want to also caution that I think that if there isn't change and momentum done now at the IMF, when Zolik's term at the World Bank expires, and we all expect him to leave in about a year or so, the Americans are not going to let go of the World Bank because, the IMF didn't let go, or the Europeans didn't let go of the IMF. So, the cycle is to be broken. It's going to be broken this summer, and I think that the developing countries need to do something about that because this is not just about the IMF. This is about the World Bank and the IMF. And we need to end this cycle of this European gentleman's club, nominating their own in perpetuity. And we can do that if developing countries really stand behind one candidate. I think we've seen the BRICS issue a joint letter that suggests that perhaps they may be, acting in some sort of unison. But again, there was no name dropping, and we need to sort of see a name, a candidate that all can agree on in developing countries and push that name forward, and it can be done.
All right. Bessma, thanks for joining us once again. Bessma Momani, Senior Fellow at the Center for International Government Innovation. She joins us from Waterloo, Ontario.